What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Fire and Ice review. I got some special guests with me today. I got our first appearance of Howard or Video 99. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, Jeff? How's it going, man?
Not bad, not bad. We got Gary B, the Kev Azure. I always screw up your name.
No worries, no worries. How
Yeah,
you
and
doing?
then our and my brother Sean, or AKA Stay Puff 1983.
What's going on, everybody? Great to be here.
Hello, hello. Yes.
All
I'm
right, guys,
doing
let's
good
get into
too.
this now. So, when was the first time that you guys saw Fire and Ice when you guys were a kid? Or I know I was
I,
pretty
I
young when
want
I
to
saw it.
say I was in my late teens when I first saw it. Like I didn't like I saw some of Bosky's work, like the Lords of the Ring,
Yeah, yeah,
Coonskin, which
yeah.
was weird when I first watched it as a kid. I'm like, what is this? But when I first watched Fire and Ice, I was like blown away by the art style and the rotoscoping. He'd done it before, but
Right.
in that movie, it just felt like so authentic in there.
And the movement of the characters was so
Yeah,
fluid. Yeah, it just
it
it was
felt
like
so
you'd
fluid.
never seen it before.
It
Yeah,
was definitely ahead of its time. Like,
Yeah. It,
I,
it's still it's still actually decent. I mean, if you watch it now, it's still a little. I mean, it's still it's a little out of age, but it's still good. You know what I mean for what it is.
you
Oh,
know,
sorry,
the
my
funny thing
phone
is,
went off.
I saw it when I was way too young. Like, my dad had rented it, thinking it's a cartoon, for kids, like on VHS.
Sounds like my mom too, man.
You gotta wait.
I watched Coonskin way too young as well.
Now I watched this as soon as I could. I don't remember exactly when I saw it, but I saw it when I was young. I have the Blu-ray now, and it's available for free on a bunch of digital platforms. So
Well,
anyone that wants to watch it can view it.
Yeah,
anybody that wants to watch it on our live stream that watches Rewind, actually it's down in the description below. There's actually I found it on YouTube, so I linked it in the description, and
because
It's
everybody
also
else's
free on
information down
Vudu.
there.
about 2 years
Yeah,
ago, me and VV talked about it with Sarah on the live
yeah,
stream. With his channel is private, so we can't view it. But if he can
right,
get me the video, I can re-upload it one day.
yeah, yeah, and and the big thing is, man, it can't be no younger than Sarah watching it, man. Sarah was 5 when she ended up seeing it for the first time, so
Mhm.
it can't be any younger than her.
It's just all about everyone can handle different things at different
Right.
ages. I mean, I was always watching horror. I was reading Clive Barker at 11. And, he's still my favorite author. Him and Robert E. Howard. None of that stuff's ever bothered me. It's always fascinated me. Fire and Ice fascinated me when it came out, much like the other movie Wizards fascinated me when it came
Right.
out.
Mhm.
Just something different. The savage side of things, which you don't always get to see because animation was just mostly for kids all the time then.
Right.
And
G-Man's in
and
the chat.
and remember, around that time too, we had heavy metal, and that was
Oh
revolutionary.
yeah,
Yeah,
That
yeah.
came out, man. Like, wow.
but you know what really popped out for me from Fire and Ice was the action. It was how realistic the body movements were, like the
Hmm.
fight scenes, like the action scenes were just like it's one long action sequence after another, right?
Or
Yeah.
even that one scene where they're dragging the dead bodies, and it felt like they had weight to them.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you guys didn't say Tigra.
Hey, Chica was the prototypical Fazetta girl in that film.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
The fact that when you're watching, it's like you're watching Fazetta's art come to life in that movie, and it's just satisfying to see. What's
It
up,
was
Brian?
all right. Why does my phone keep going off? I'm trying to
But man,
silence
I
it.
mean, as a little kid, little boy, like seeing Tiger for the first time, I was just like, wow, you know,
hmm
just awestruck, right?
Well,
I think
that
we
and I'm
all
a,
were.
I'm a brunette guy anyway, so I was like,
yeah,
I was already rooting for her.
I think I became a
yeah.
brunette guy
But
And
because
then
you
of it.
know, and
as a
and I,
Conan fan, and when Dark Wolf comes on, and you had this larger than life barbarian character, you were rooting for him instantly.
oh yeah. And one thing I liked about the comics is it highlighted her sense of not taking action on certain things. Like she's with her mother, and
Right.
like even her mother's looking at her like, you know, you're just baiting me to talk to. You can lie down and rest. Like she doesn't have that instinct that her mother had, that fighter mentality, that warrior mentality
Right.
that her mother had. So she was like in and out when it comes to being strong and weak in the movie. So I liked
She was
it that she
she was
wasn't 100%.
how mom say she was princess. She's used to being in the princess or whatever,
Right, you
laying
can
down
see
all
in
the time.
this prequel that her mom was trying to change that and work on that with her.
Right.
But I love that scene where she, you know, she shows a lot of intelligence, right? She does she has thrown in the water. She does that dance to distract, you know, her captors, only to give her enough time to swim, like swim
Yeah.
away. I thought that was like, you know, a little bit different than just the simple damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't stereotypical.
Like she
Yeah.
had creative ways of getting away, but then she get captured like about 5-10 minutes later. And I'm like, damn, man.
Yeah, but she
Yeah.
had fight in her. She wasn't waiting to be
Yeah.
rescued. She was taking
Yeah.
action.
She take out one of those guys. Remember, she
Oh yeah.
she had like that wooden kind of like, you know, spear that she made.
Well, it was nice too because they had her playing coy and like, you know, she was being she was really trying to think her way out of it.
Yeah, but man, it was like what I really enjoyed was not just the action sequences, but the characters were very emotive. You know, and they weren't like robots fighting. Like it felt real, like the struggle, especially the chase scenes.
Or the big fall scene too, I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that when you watch the fall scene and he's falling down and grabbing all the vines and stuff,
Yeah,
it actually felt like real because that's what you're gonna do when falling, trying to grab all the vines, and it
Yeah.
slowed down his fall.
Well, I
But,
think that has
yeah.
a lot to do too, just with the style of Frazetta. Like even when you're looking at his still paintings, there's a realism
Yeah.
to his character. There's a weight to the people that he's portraying.
Yeah.
Because honestly, man, I honestly. So, what did you guys think of the book, comic, in general?
I enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it?
I enjoyed the prequel settings of it. You get to see, you know, how the characters are before we even, you know about the movie. So
Right.
you see Lon, you know, he's with his tribe, and they got slaughtered. Like wow, like that really like threw me off when the father was telling his 4 sons the story, and then they just came and get wasted. So I
Right.
was like, that was crazy.
That was a
And-
surprise scene. I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
And I don't
these
know
are
if we're
some new
spoiling or
characters
not, so I'm
that
trying to keep it vague.
huh?
I don't know if we're spoiling or not, so I'm trying to keep it vague.
well,
Oh,
you know, I love the perspective of the book because the movie you see the two opposing sides, and I mean there's a glimpse of what's happening in this big war. But I mean the book starts about, you know, the people caught in between.
Right.
And, you know, through their lens, like what's happening. And I guess without spoilers, I love the story about the witch,
mm,
like more backstory on, you know, the witch that we do see in the movie, and you know, like what she was doing already at this time.
And I thought it was nice getting a little backstory on Larn and just
Yeah.
that he was already different than the rest of his tribe.
he was Tarzan like more than anything. he likes staying in the trees more.
Well, yeah, he already had the survival instincts working.
Right.
Yeah.
He was seeing things on a different level than the rest of them.
Right. And the biggest thing was, man, honestly, it's the biggest thing for me was, just in case you didn't watch the movie and you read the book, you know, you read the comic, it was still good because it still pulled you in no matter
Right.
if you've seen the movie or not. So that's one positive on my end, where hey, it's gonna pull a lot more new people into it than that haven't seen the movie, and they're gonna find out about it and want to go see them, you know, and want to go watch it.
The best
So-
thing I can say about this adaptation is, as soon as I started reading it, one, I was drawn into it right away.
Right.
It was from Dynamite, so you know
Mhm.
they have varying quality. They have quality.
Yeah.
So
That's
I was
the
worried
big thing.
about it. I was worried about
Yeah.
this property being at Dynamite.
Yeah.
And who would have thought that Dynamite would put out a better Frazetta Bakshi product than, say,
Opus.
right?
I,
I get into this,
Yeah.
and I start reading it, and I'm loving it, but it immediately felt like an extension of the movie, and I immediately felt connected to the characters
Right.
the same way that I felt connected to them in the film. So
Yeah.
I was invested because, and that's a testament to Bill Willingham's
Willingham.
writing, because
That's
Yeah.
all about-
I
Willingham.
really connected to the characters just as I did in the movie as they were.
Yeah.
Willingham is a really good writer. I enjoyed his fables.
Right.
You know, that was a long story arc that he did, retelling of the fairy tales in modern settings, and I enjoyed that. So when they announced that he was going to be a part of this project, I was like, that's a good writer they got to do it.
Mm-hmm. And then because I was a little worried about Menko's, I was like, when I heard Menko was doing the art, I was a little worried at the time. And then Sarah started showing the art. And I'm like, well, it's not what I thought, but it's good. It's actually a lot better than a lot of the other Dynamite titles.
I thought
I
the
can give you
art
that.
was absolutely amazing and fit into
Yeah.
a world that was already established in the film.
Right.
Like, the art blew me away in this, and not only the art.
Yeah.
Nobody ever mentions colorist. I don't know if Bill
Right.
himself colored it, because I didn't see a
Right.
colorist credited in the credits.
Well, maybe Sarah can tell us in the comment, or if she rewatches this, maybe she can tell us the colors in the comments or something like that. So
Right. But the colors
so-
drew me into the story too, and it helped
Right.
create that world. It was the colors in this book were just as important as the art in the story, because it completed the world. I think if anything lacked in this book in any area, you wouldn't have felt so immersed in the world of
Right.
Fire and Ice as you did.
Yeah, now that you mentioned the color, like, you know, the way they do the different shades in the jungle, it really adds, like, you know, texture to the whole thing. You know, the backgrounds is what really does the world building, I found, you know, in the panels.
Well,
Like all the trees, the vines. I enjoyed the runes the best because they were also in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And just the color palette on the characters' faces and their bodies were great. You know,
Look at the scene with Necron, you know, where
Yeah.
they completely made it white and gray because it's in the ice
Right.
territory.
yeah, I almost said something, but I don't want to put any spoilers out there, so I bit my tongue.
I mean,
Well-
we never specified whether this was going to be a spoiler review or not.
We didn't.
Yeah.
So I was just playing
So-
it safe just in case.
I mean, if you guys want to, it's okay, man. It's I'll just put spoiler warning up, so we'll be all right. I mean, that's the biggest thing though. It's the art, the colorist got us in. You know what I mean? Honestly, the cover, even the covers were decent. You know what I mean? They had pretty decent cover artists.
What
Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, yeah, we all like the Sienkiewicz cover for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Sienkiewicz.
Yeah,
Well, even of course the classic Frazetta, which is the best one.
yeah. But the Sienkiewicz one reminded me of like a St. Julian cover almost, like what St. Julian would do.
That's a good observation.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
then-
what did y'all think of the opening page of the mouse, the dragon, and the tiger?
I thought it was interesting. I thought that was interesting.
I like how they explain, you know,
Yeah.
that mouse is being the people that's living within the land,
Right.
between the battle
Right.
of fire and ice with the
Right.
dragon and the tiger, and
Right.
that was a unique perspective coming from, you know, the father telling that story, because you're
Right.
trapped regardless of whether side you're on. You're trapped in that struggle.
Right. And you
And-
go
Right.
on because that's your option.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah, and it was like a great way to introduce the story
Right.
to us. You know, that little folklore of the tiger, the dragon, and the mouse, and then tying it into what they're going through with the fire and ice battle.
It's always good for world building to see like a myth within a myth, right? Like the folklore within
Right.
the
Right.
Yeah. A little fable.
Yeah.
Well, he should be good because Willingham wrote Fables.
Right. Now, how many issues is this going to be?
Yeah,
6.
6.
Okay.
Okay.
6. She all the other interviews she said it's gonna be 6 issues, but there might be spin-offs. So there might be like a Dark Wolf spin-off or another other character spin-offs.
Because
So-
I'm curious how they can build up these characters without them actually meeting like they did in the movie and make
Right.
it a cohesive tale that
Well,
leads into the film.
what's funny is, well, spoiler warning, guys, but Tigra's mom ends up meeting Lauren in that scene where she jumps through the damn. Actually, I can show you guys the panel, but yeah, because if you think about it, so Tigra's actually met him once already. If you think about it, kind of.
It's gonna be interesting because once all 6 are out, I'm gonna read them through 1 through 6 in one sitting, and then I'll watch
Yeah.
the movie again.
Yeah,
'Cause
I actually,
Oh, sorry.
Go
yeah,
ahead.
we. Go ahead, guys.
Oh,
Well,
I was just gonna say, like, are you guys curious about like what really got my curiosity going with this prequel is that I always wondered like Necron's power. Like they sort of alluded to the source, but I mean he's very powerful. Like I mean, as the main antagonist in the movie, like his power level, like with his magic, was like basically moving glaciers, right? So I kind of really want to see if they flesh out how he got this power and how this power got transferred to him. Like even from the mother, like how did he inherit this power?
Or if he did, or if he even inherited it at all.
Yeah,
because his power is fascinating and confusing at the same time. Because he can move glaciers and stuff, but he can also like control people's bodies, which is like a completely different power set from what he actually is known for, moving glaciers and controlling the power of ice. So I do want to see like what led more to that, because I know it's magic based sometimes, and stuff like that they can explore his background a lot more, because we only get like a page or 2 pages with him, so there's a lot more that we can see of the character.
and I'm guessing like Dark Wolf will have some sad like origin story, because they did mention he's out for vengeance, right?
Right, and just a good cliffhanger panel with him too.
Yeah.
Again, with just spectacular art, man. It just left you wanting more.
Yeah, like honestly, the art kept me in, because you know how Dynamite books are, Sean and Gary. You guys know how those books are. Sometimes when you open up the and look in there, it's like,
Yeah.
Did you have a little kid? Did you guys hire a little kid?
They spent all their money on the great cover artists,
Right.
but the interior art is just not that.
It's
Right.
either the art or the cosplay covers that draws people in, right?
No,
Yeah.
see, I'm one of those people. I don't buy cosplay covers at all. I want art on the cover.
Right.
I want art. I don't care about the cosplay. I care zero about the cosplay.
Mhm.
Right.
And I have a bunch of cosplay covers, but they're all covers that the community sent me.
Right.
The only time I've ever bought a cosplay cover is when that was a cover that's left and I want to read the story.
Right.
But
For me,
which
it's
is
always
weird
been-
since I'm on a coffee and cosplay show. But
All right. I was about to say, yeah.
You should be on the cover and he'll buy it.
But you see, for me, it's just the one character. For me, it's always I brought it today. It's always Purgatory.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. For me, it's just like that. It really just stands out. Like for like Dynamite books wise, the new story isn't bad, but like Jeff was saying, sometimes interiors look worse than if I was drawing it, right?
Yeah, because half of the time, the only issues with Dynamite books is half of the time is cover's great, interior art sucks dick sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, now they've done good on 2 Savage titles in a row now. The
Right.
Red Sonja was a really good read.
right.
Well, they
And
were
the
smart
art
to
was
get
good.
Walter Giovanni on there, because he
Right.
was fantastic even on the older Red Sonja books.
Torrin Groback, whatever.
Well, I'm
I
just
didn't
saying,
pronounce
like,
her name, and I'm so
it was
sorry.
nice. It was a nice change to have decent art in the book, inside
Well,
the book.
And good writing. The writing was good too.
Yeah. The writing was good too.
If you
The
don't
writing
have,
helped
if
it.
you only have one
Yeah.
or the other, it doesn't work for me.
Right.
So
We got G-Man talking
would you guys be pre-ordering this?
the Dark Wolf figure.
Yeah.
I got one already. I ordered one already.
I don't know. Like I just spent. I mean, this Red Sonja figure I just got. I made a couple, but that was I can't afford the way figures are these days. I'd rather put the money in the books, and like that's a great figure, and maybe I'll get it at some point. But
Right.
man, like a base figure now is like $40 for a base regular figure that you can get.
I filled that up, and I have not put new figures on there. I have not bought new figures in probably over a year. So
they're so expensive.
Yeah.
They are. You know, it's even more expensive for me. I'm in Canada.
He's in Canada, so it's worth
do a
for him.
premium markup and like customs and duties, right?
Oh man.
Oh, that. But to get back to Fire and Ice,
Right.
I thought. I mean, I want to mention the pacing too, because I thought Bill paced it well. He changed scenes at a good point where where it made the next part of the story move faster. So his transitions were good. He knew when to change the scene to a different character. He knew when to change it again. The pace was great. At no time did I feel the story was lacking or going too fast. It just felt like a good, solid sit down and read.
My one question is: do you think like when they had wrote it first and then sent it? I mean, I know they thanked Sarah and stuff in the book, but I'm wondering if when he had wrote it, sent it to Sarah, Sarah had read it, and then if Sarah made changes, did he change anything that she had? You know what I mean? She had done.
Yeah. Only Sarah and Bill could answer that.
Yeah. That'd be nice. Yeah. That'd be nice to know because honestly, because she already said, like, me and Sean went to the museum, the last year, and told her about, told her about Death Dealer, and she goes, mom flat out told us she hated it. Man, mom. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad for Sarah and family on the whole Opus thing because they're just not paying respect to the creator at all. They're just throwing together haphazard, half stories that really they kill all the mystique in any of the work that Frank's done.
Right. Yeah. Well, we can bring up Mothman. What, Sean? Did you pick up Mothman or no?
I picked up Mothman 1 and 2, but I did not read 1. And I got 2 today, and I'm like, after what Gary said, I was like, I might read them. I might read them just to see it, but I already know there's.
I read 1 too, and I thought the same thing Gary thought. I'm like, this is a little weird, and the mystique's all gone from what Frank drew.
And it was all cliches. Like everything in that book was a cliche that any of us could come up with.
Right.
And that's how I was feeling with the Ablaze stuff and Valeria and Ballet. I was like, what is going on with this shit? Now I read the first issue and I just did not want to read it no more.
Do you guys get the same thing from Mothman? Was it supposed to be a comedy? Like
no,
it's supposed
it's a
otherworldly.
It's a satire.
And with the painting, you don't know if the ships behind him are there to help him or if they're there to get him. You don't know. There's all this stuff that could happen. And instead, they make it a Hatfield and McCoy story with an alien stuck in the middle. With really stupid writing. And modern phrases that completely take you out of the story that don't belong in that tale.
Any Frazetta painting, and if they try and put comedy in there from a Frazetta painting, you already done failed.
Yeah. Dude, it was interesting, man. Honestly, me reading it and Gary, like before Gary even posted his thing, I'm like, I read it. I felt a little weird about that Mothman book, and I'm like, I can't pin it, but and then Gary's hit the nail on the head. I'm like, that's why I could. I'm like,
and it's bad if I do a Savage Saturday comic review and it's negative in any way.
Right.
I think that book had to go out of its way to be bad.
Right. And the worst part is
positivity on my channel, and that one I'm like, no, I just got to tell people not to buy this.
No, but honestly, you rather tell people the truth than have to buy trash.
And the first person I messaged was Thorson. I'm like, did you happen to read this? Do you think this is just Gary? He was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
I
yeah.
the only one that thought it was really weird with that, like, that scene, or like in the book where he was sitting on a couch, like Mothman? Like,
On the couch.
yeah.
Yeah,
In the
he's like,
panel, he sat on a couch just chatting. Like, that was
I
the.
see.
Well,
Now I know why I didn't read it. I picked it up and I'm like, I don't know about
and
this.
the worst part about the character Mothman that they wrote,
right,
he's at first he says these creatures referring to the people. So, and I mentioned this in my review. So you refer to the people around you as these creatures. So that means you haven't had contact with them before. You don't know what they are, who they are. Instantly understands the language, and every time he speaks, he's using English phraseology that doesn't make any sense. That he would have no concept of. It's
yeah.
like, why
Well,
are you
it drew me
talking
out.
like
It drew me out more than anything, man. That stuff drew me out of there, because they kept. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Now speaking of speaking,
Hmm.
were you surprised that they gave Otwad dialogue in Fireman Heist, knowing that we
Uh,
knew from him in the movie?
Right. I was a little surprised.
I'm like, from the ending of the book, I'm thinking that what happened to him in the movie in terms of how he speaks, almost like the subhumans, is
Yeah.
exactly what's going to happen with what
Right.
happened at the end of the book with him battling. I won't say who, but
Yeah.
Yeah, he was more articulate in the book.
yeah, I was surprised. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
this guy
yeah.
got dialogue. He's speaking proper English.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I didn't know he could speak.
What character?
First, the
witch's son.
son.
Otwa?
Yeah, the giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
giant
yeah.
witch's son.
Yep.
That surprise. I mean, it wasn't a bad surprise, but we knew it was a prequel, so I kind of figured that something had to happen to him.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's take a look at the colors and art.
Hold on, I got that pen, Gary. I'll share the screen. I have that panel actually.
Okay.
Hold on.
'Cause, I mean,
Yeah, I have that pen. I like it. That's one of my favorite ones out of all of them.
Double splash.
with the way the light is cast from the pot and everything, and just the different shadows, it's so good.
Yeah, hold on. Let me bring it up real quick, and I'll share the screen real quick, and then.
Speaking of like the giant, right? Huata, like his character. One part that I really like is the fact that he got, I guess, a little bit of a small spoiler. He got freaked out by a horse. It would make sense because there shouldn't be any horses in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's you guys can see it, right? Hold on.
Yeah.
You guys can see, yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was a beautiful, I thought that I wouldn't mind owning the art of it either, man.
Straight in the side of his gut, man.
Right,
Yeah.
and the art and the colors
Yeah,
accomplish a couple different things here. One, the lighting created
right,
is amazing, but it also creates a depth of the scene they're in.
right. Yeah, because
'Cause you look
that color
through
makes
the
it more
scene,
pop
doesn't-
even more.
Right, it doesn't appear flat. It's like you're looking through the scene.
Right.
What's up, Al?
And here's the
Really,
other panel
really-
that I like. This is the other panel that I really like too, where they were sitting there and he was talking to the kids, and these guys started attacking.
Oh yeah, with the spear through his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Golly.
yeah. but like you said, Gary, like the colors is what made it more, like anything, like all of it was that coloring.
Right. Well, that and the details of the art too. Like it's splitting his teeth.
Right.
It's his teeth are going out. His eyes are wide. His face is puffed
Right.
out now. And
You know what?
Right,
Even
man,
the
it's-
panel after that, right? The full page,
Yeah.
that shows the mayhem of the attack. Like,
Right.
Yeah, like even that is just like,
But I honestly think this panel is my favorite one out of all of it, though. Like with the Panther and her throwing the spear, but I think this is my favorite panel out of the book, though.
oh, it's a
Being
great
honest.
panel.
Yeah.
And just with her mom bursting through there, it looks amazing.
Yeah. I want it on a t-shirt.
I mean, you know what this makes me want, Jeff? This makes me want a solo story of the mom when she was young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that.
Like,
Yeah.
I just want a solo
So
story
she-
of her becoming this warrior that she is, that she's trying to teach.
And I
her
like
daughter.
Right.
how she explained that she married the father, and it wasn't like traditional love. It was more like,
Right. They
he
learned
speaks
they
of
fell in love
how-
with each other, but it doesn't always happen that way, and they were
Yeah.
fortunate. But man, I
Like, it
want
was
a
like a
story of
mystery.
her when she was younger.
Because she
Yeah,
says she
but she said
basically lived in the
Sarah
jungle.
already said there's gonna be spin-offs, so that might be one spin-off coming. So she
You
said
know,
there's
I hope
spin-offs coming too.
I
So
hope they make this into a poster.
mm,
Like,
hold it up
you know,
so we can see it a little bit.
oh, sorry, yeah, my there, oh, there you go.
There.
Cover Z or
Yeah.
cover Y.
Oh yeah, that one.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wow.
I definitely agree with that.
that'll be an awesome poster,
Yeah,
man.
a post. Yeah.
Now I restrained myself from these variants. I'm not.
Yeah, but I only got two. I only got the Frieza. I only got the
didn't even get the
Frazetta and
Frazetta one
the
because my shop they got a messed up copy, so they got another one coming to me. But
but I got the yeah.
this and the they
Piercing-
gave me
I got the-
Michael Lindsay one, which is pretty
Yeah.
badass. I
Oh,
like
that's pretty badass. That's the Listener, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Listener was a 1 in 10. I thought yeah, there
Yeah,
was a
it
1
was
in
1
10
in 10.
listener.
Yeah, my LCS didn't have that or I missed it because I had ordered the covers I had ordered.
Right.
Just like with
The
Conan,
listener
I
one was a
ordered those covers.
like there was like 1 in 10s, 1 in 100s, one like yeah, but those are you know what I mean? Like the covers are great, man.
I will say after rereading the issue,
Mhm.
I do want to see more of the brother. It's
Mm.
kind of a shame that he got,
Killed
taken
off.
out poison because you can see that there's a big difference between him and Necron and
Yeah.
how he presented himself. He wasn't the old head first into battle. He's more of a type of person that likes to strategize things and work things out. Whereas Necros just wants to take over and go head on.
Right. And to Matthew's point too, like all these jungle scenes, the jungle feels alive. Like the art is so
Right.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. I just got it on
Yeah.
this page.
yeah.
I mean, there's just it all works so well. All the different hues, the different colors, the lost remains that are in the jungle that are overgrown.
Right.
The
But,
hints
like-
of lost civilizations that you have.
Right. Like
So-
you said, man, the color is the thing that kept you in, and the art was the stuff that kept you in the book. The big thing.
So
Right,
guys,
and I
back
definitely
to
want to bring that up,
Mothman, I
I
have
think
to show
color-
this. This is
Okay.
the part that stopped me
Oh,
from reading.
oh yeah, the Mothman. But
There you go. Like this.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm done. Like that's it. Like sitting on a couch chatting. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
yeah, because that was super. I mean, honestly, that's the thing. And then so all right. So since I got you three here, what do you guys think of Death Dealer 2099?
Naman.
What's going on, Naman?
99. That's a new series?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
from
get
Opus.
that. Like, there's no reason to put Death Dealer in 2099. That's just trying to get a 2099 crowd from Marvel.
Yeah,
Right.
like what the hell
That's-
is 2099 doing in Death Deal?
That's
Hey,
just watering
guys,
down the
guys.
character.
Even that's what Sarah thought at first. And Sarah said in the interview, she said she read that synopsis. It kind of pulled her in, so I'm curious of what pulled her in. So I'm gonna at least grab issue 1 to see.
up, Howard?
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I just got a call from my mom. My daughter got hurt, so I got to go and
All right.
drive to her place.
All right.
Okay.
See you
Hey man,
guys.
I hope she's
Yeah.
doing. I hope she's okay.
All right,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
Sorry,
turns out
guys.
well.
I'll see you guys in a
You're good.
Thanks. Take
Later,
care.
man.
yeah. So, yeah, man, because that's gonna be interesting. Honestly, that's gonna be interesting. 2099, man.
Man,
So-
I ain't buying that.
I think I might, like Thorson, I think I might be done with Opus.
Opus.
Just there's
Yeah.
they haven't done anything to show that they can handle
Right.
the title.
Well,
the
Dynamite
property.
for sure. Dynamite showed us they can handle it, and the artist wise, yeah, that I'm happy with. But
'Cause
Opus on the other words, it's the honestly, I think they're just trying to help her get nothing against them, but I think they're just trying to get a movie deal out of it. Like,
Didn't she say something like that when we saw
Yeah.
her on media?
If
Yeah.
you're gonna go after properties like this that are these landscapes and paintings that Frazetta did,
but
they have a history for a reason because of the skill and the talent that's in them. So you
Right.
don't sit there and acquire properties like this images
Right.
like this, and you don't go at it without the proper reverence and respect for what it's historically represented.
And then what you remember is that, Sean, we went to the museum, and what she had said was that you remember why they gave it to that guy to write the Death Dealer book in the first place was because he had a connection to Netflix. You remember?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, and
I
then
remember.
my thing now I'm wondering if that's the main reason they're coming up with 2099 freaking Death Dealer. Are they gonna come up with what's next? Mothman 29? You know what I mean? It's like,
If there's one thing I don't like, especially when I've been reading comics for so long, I don't like when they try and get
Mhm.
these Netflix deals or something like that, and they write
Right.
the comics to fit a TV show.
right, right,
Like
right.
you reading it and you can tell, like, yeah, they're writing this for
Yeah.
a TV show. They're not writing this for comic.
Or
book. Like,
when you read it, you can feel it. It's like a script for a show or whatever, and then you're like, "What the hell is going on, man?" It doesn't feel like a comic book. It feels like more like a like a TV series.
like what's his name? Gary said earlier, like you stretch a story arc like the Frost Giants for 3 issues.
Right.
When you could tell that in one story, one
Right.
oversized story, tell it as is.
Right, milking
Right.
for money.
And that's
Yeah.
the whole point of decompression in comics. Milk a
Right.
whole storyline for 5-6
Right.
issues so you can sell it in trade.
What?
Or you
Yeah,
sell it
but when
as a
it's
script.
when you guys know it's only maybe a 6-issue thing, but they ended up extending it to like 10 issues. You're like,
And like you when
What
you
the
read it,
hell?
like,
Right, and the
Well,
Frost
this-
Giant's daughter should have been a one shot.
all this should have been a one shot.
well, all right. Since we talked about Fire and Ice, so what did you guys think about the Conan stuff?
I loved it. I
Loved it.
loved the Conan.
It was
Yeah.
the Conan was a perfect issue. It really was. As
Right.
someone that's been reading Conan since I was 8 years old, I'm 53 now.
Right.
Nothing has felt more like Conan to me since this title came out. I thought what Marvel did the last couple years was really good. I really liked Jim Zub's second 12-issue arc after the Jason Aaron arc. I thought what they did with Savage Avengers shouldn't have worked, but it did, and it was great, except for the
Shocker.
3 issues which they did a crossover with, which they didn't need to. Luckily, they recovered, but it was a great arc. But this is the opposite of Opus, right? This Fire and Ice and Conan.
Right.
These are people writing these properties.
This is
have
what
this
it was supposed to be.
They understand what the source material is.
Right.
They understand what makes these properties what they are. They know what the key elements of these are. I know you'll probably agree with me, Sean. Like when you read that Conan's Conan right from that first panel.
Yeah.
Man. He's not only is Conan savage, not only is he not putting up with someone he disagrees with that costs a couple people's lives that he's not even friends with. They just happen to be in the same company of him. But it also in one little scene establishes his code of honor.
Yep.
It establishes his needs because he takes gold coin after. And then later on in the story, his barbaric code of honor is still stated when he helps Brissa, who is a great introduction character. Now that character, they also did something which the big two haven't been doing well lately. They introduced a character without making the character feel forced or agenda driven.
I love her.
She just came on the scene. Her character fit the story, and the character was amazing. Her character added to the story and was a great character for Conan to play off of. I'm excited to see where they go with this.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they build this relationship. Like we all know the Conan woman, like the Red Sonjas, the Valeria, the Billettes.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a new character that they can really grow and thrive.
Right. I hope they do, man. Honestly,
Yeah.
I hope they do. Honestly.
And it was just a great setup because you have to understand, like Conan's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever he's depicted in film, they depict him as slightly dumb, which is not the case.
A brute most of the time. Yeah.
Right. And he's more than a brute. He's calculated. The only things that get Conan in trouble are gambling, women, and too much drink. Right? But Conan's not stupid.
No.
Conan,
Nope.
I mean, that's why he became a general. That's why he became a leader of the Cossacks. That's why he took wherever he goes, Conan takes over and becomes a leader. Then he becomes king. He's a good leader. He also knows when a situation can't be led. He's smart enough to recognize that.
Right.
And but they kept Conan's brains intact. They kept his honor intact. And when Conan works best, there's a dichotomy between Conan's barbarism and how civilization is perceived, and how civilization is often more barbaric than what they accuse the barbarians of being like. Because at least the barbarians have a code of honor, and most of the civilizations that he comes in contact with are too busy screwing each other over and doing savage, brutal things to each other that these barbarians would never do.
Right.
The words just brought the thunder out.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take over there for a minute.
No, you're good.
No,
That's the whole
that's
reason.
accurate. That like just reading the story, it's like you get all the Conan beats that is integral to the character. You know, survival mode. You know, I like when they're battling the hordes of creatures, and he says, "Sacrificing yourself to the horde of non-teeth and claws won't save innocent lives," which means to say, them people over there are done. We got to retreat.
It's time to go.
Yeah, but he made sure he saved her because she helped him out earlier.
Right, because he saw her overrun, and his code of
Yeah.
honor wouldn't let him abandon her.
Exactly.
Even at the cost of his own life, he wouldn't
And he
abandon
recognized that she came all the way to warn them and stuff. And that right there is honorable for somebody to say, "Hey, you need to
Right.
get out here. There's a horde of monsters coming."
her. And when she came on the scene, he was the only one that wasn't disrespectful to her right away. He was listening to the information that she was giving and processing.
And I
But
like
that's the big.
sequence when they said that it was getting dark outside in the afternoon, and they go outside and it's just eerie, and the text dialogue really highlights that. That's why I love this issue. It felt like a Bronze Age,
right? And it felt like a mix between Roy Thomas and Robert E. Howard, which is when Conan works best in comics.
Yes.
The biggest thing was I got them both, and I couldn't pick what I mean. I couldn't pick which one I wanted to be 1 and 2. Dude, they're both number 1 for me, man, because I couldn't pick from Fire. I'm like, screw picking it. I'm like, which one was 1 and which one was 2? I'm like, they're both on 1.
Like Conan is number 1. I love Fire and Ice. That's number 2 for me. But this Conan really made me feel happy.
Right.
Like, this is the Conan, because as I love them. I've read the Marvel run in trades because I hate Marvel paper. You know.
Yeah. Marvel. We call it Marvel toilet paper.
You know, and you're talking about the new run that they had.
Yeah, the Marvel run of Conan
with Jason Aaron, the new one though.
Yeah, I couldn't stand their paper, and I can't have too many Marvel books with that crappy paper. So I was like,
even Tim says that paper won't last. The books that are now getting printed will not last.
Yeah, the quality of this Titan book, just quality wise on paper.
Yeah,
that I noticed it right when I got to the first page. I'm like, ooh, this is thick. Ooh, this is nice. And then the story was incredible.
Yeah,
the story is incredible. The artwork, channeling John Buscema. I felt like I was reading a John Buscema art story.
Well, it felt like John Buscema, because he's my favorite Conan artist. It felt like him inked by my favorite inker, Ernie Chan. It felt like those two together.
It just hit all the notes for me as a Conan fan. As somebody who read Conan growing up, even if I didn't have the whole run, I had issues that I would reread over and over again because I loved them so much. So reading this story and just how they got all the notes right when it comes to Conan, it left me happy. I'm like, I can't wait for issue number 2.
And where both these titles got right also is dialogue. They didn't have any dialogue that felt out of place in the world that these comics take place in. Both Fire and Ice and Conan nailed dialogue, and they nailed the subtext or the
narration boxes.
Narration.
Yes, everything fit. Nothing drew you out of the story. Nothing was like, that wouldn't be said. Nothing was blaring. Nothing. It all fit.
because nothing is worse than reading the comic and then you hit that point in the dialogue where you're like,
And it
says that?
destroys everything
I
that you just read.
I read Death Dealer 1. I read Death Dealer 1 by myself the first time, okay? And then Tim had to skim through it, but I didn't notice the word. But he goes, "Da-da-da-da-da-da," and then he goes, "Did you not notice the when he had said sexy, it don't fit. Sexy," and then
Right.
he goes, he looks up sexy, and sexy wasn't used until the 50s or whatever. So it was like, it don't fit. That word doesn't fit in there.
Can't have Death Dealer saying sexy, man. Come on.
No, but now every time I read the issue 1 again, now that word always pulls me out now because of after Tim pointing it out. I'm like, I read it, I'm reading it. I'm like, damn it!
Like, these writers try and get creative with how this dialogue is, and I'm like,
that
don't even sound right when I say it.
Don't try to be clever. Just tell the story.
Exactly.
Right. It drives me nuts when the words don't fit.
Right.
When the words don't fit,
Because
it drives me nuts.
When you're trying too hard to be clever, it's always glaringly obvious, and it always pulls you out of whatever you're reading.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just see them being cocky and nailed that, and all of us are at home going, "Oh, what happened?"
Yeah.
But yeah, that Conan book was just top tier. I'm all on board. Because like I said, the Marvel stuff, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Zub's Conan a lot more than Aaron, even though I thought Aaron's was good. But I just enjoyed Zub's more. So when he was announced as the writer, I was actually looking forward to it.
But
because Zub's good. Yeah, because Zub's good, and then Aaron wasn't bad either. But honestly, I like Zub's better though. I like Zub's writing up better.
6-issue miniseries was good by Aaron and
right.
Mahmoud Asrar, who, my gosh, Opus needs to get a hold of Mahmoud and have him do some work for them on some of these Robert E. Howard properties.
Right. You mean a Blaze or what? Not a Blaze. I mean,
no, don't bring up a Blaze. We're trying to talk about good things.
Yeah. Yeah, man. A Blaze was freaking.
All Blaze knows how to do is butcher stuff.
Yeah.
They suck you in with them good covers, but then when you read it, it's like shit.
But like I said, Dynamite's the same way. But they surprised me this time with Fire and Ice. Being honest.
Well, this is a great time for this resurgence because we've had Red Sonja, Conan, and Fire and Ice, which all came out and were really good.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm down for like if we do this monthly. Like after all 3 issues come out, man, we just sit
I'm down.
And do a show just reviewing those 3 books.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. So like I said, issue 2's next in next month. So yes, I'm curious about that. So what are our ratings for Conan and Fire and Ice?
Conan is a straight 10 out of 10 for me.
Right.
I'll give Fire and Ice a 9.5 out of 10.
9.5. Okay. I'm going to say or I might be biased, but I'm a 9.5 for Fire and Ice. Conan's about 9.9. But
just give it don't be going with these IGN scores and shit 7.4, 8.7 and shit. Nah, it's either 9, 9.5 or straight 10.
Yeah. All right. So Fire and Ice is a 9 for me, and then honestly, Conan was a 10. But don't get me wrong, story wise, I like Fire and Ice's story. My perspective, I liked it a little better. I like the story. Yeah, I like the story a little better. Art wise, I like the Conan's art a lot better.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Colorist on Fire and Ice was like a 10. Art wise, a 10 for me, because normally Dynamite, you guys know, normally Dynamite's art's not great in the interior. So
I think both of them. I'm gonna retry. I'm gonna give them both a 10, but.
Right.
The art was a 10 in both of them. The coloring was a 10 in both of them.
Right.
Where Conan comes ahead for me is I got 40-something years with this character.
That's what I'm saying. So
all the Robert E. Howard stories
Right.
that I read over and over again. I got all those great adaptations by Roy Thomas. Conan is a character that's been more invested in my life. I'm looking forward to getting more invested in the Fire and Ice characters, but I'm not there yet, and it really is going to
Right.
depend on how they keep developing moving forward.
Well, I'm gonna be like I said, I'm more than happy to have a review every time every new issue comes out of these guys, and we'll review them all because honestly, I don't mind reviewing it because it was actually a great read, and it was actually I enjoyed it, man. Honestly, do you know it's good if I read it 3 times. It's a lot of times I don't read books 3 times. You know what I mean? So if I read it 3 times just to catch stuff, yeah. So it's actually decent, man. So I read it last night and then I watched because I did this Sean thing. I watched the movie before we were going to get it, and then I watched the movie after reading it, and now a lot of the stuff makes more sense.
No, it was just,
Yeah. There's a Monty's in the chat. Robert's in the chat. Yeah. So, but it's honestly, like I said, honestly, it's good to be a fantasy
it's a good time to be a fan of the Savage.
savage and fantasy art type stuff right now because there's a lot of good stuff coming out. So that's
And two
honestly a good thing.
elements that these both had in it, which always add to this
Right.
character because they both have sorcery, which I
Right.
think is a key element. The supernatural is a key element in these tales to me.
Right. My biggest thing is both of them can pull new people in though. Both books can pull what I mean. Even if they've never read anything like it, and they pick like if the Fire and Ice cover catches somebody's eye, they can pick it up because I asked my LCS guy Tim. I asked him. I go, hey, if they never watched the movie, you think they would they have to watch the movie to read Fire and Ice? He goes, no, because he actually read both. He goes. Same thing with like Gary said. He had more preference with Robert E. Howard stuff, and that's why he was more attached to Conan. But he goes, I liked them both, but he said the same thing I did. He liked the story of Fire and Ice better than he did Conan, but then he liked them both though. So that's
who was that? No, I like the Conan story most.
No. But talking about our my FCS guy.
Oh, okay. And then I said too, in my review of Conan 1, I made sure to mention that if you've never read Conan, this book's a great jumping on point. You don't need to. I don't know if you agree with me, Sean, but you don't need to have read Conan before to jump right in, and it gives you a little bit of his history. This is 8 years after Venarium. Conan's 24, not 16, and it does it. It sums it up succinctly and well-used panels.
The narration really explains his history, and it gives you a good insight of what he's been through and how he got to this stage.
And the narration is awesome. I love that they have narration in it.
Yeah. Like I said, it just took me back to reading Bronze Age Conan.
Right.
Same here.
It made me feel so happy after I read it. But I read it again and again, and I was like, man, this is so good. I'm looking forward to number
2. Like I said, man, it's hard for us to be invested in books that we read more than once.
It's a shame. It's a shame that VV ain't going to get the book until next month?
Right?
Because imagine if he had this book, he'd be on this panel right now with us.
Well, we can always have him for issue 2. He'll have issue 1 by then.
And then I was I lost my train of thought. Damn, but no, so good, and I don't know. It's good to see that these stories and these characters that we've loved our whole life are finally getting treated with respect. And when the property was going over to Titan, if it would have went to someone else, if it would have went back to Dark Horse, I would have been really apprehensive because Dark Horse was very hit or miss with me with Conan. A lot of times I didn't think the art fit Conan at all at Dark Horse. And some of the art just took me out. But when they said it was going to Titan, and I had been reading Gun Honey, and I thought Gun Honey was done really well because that's a story that could went too far into the erotic and ruined the noir of it, and they didn't do that. And I thought it was a good balance. But I had high hopes that Titan would treat this property well. And I know it's just one issue in, but I have even higher hopes now, and I can't wait for the relaunch of Savage Sword of Conan. I don't know about you, Sean.
Is it in magazine format?
Yeah, black and white magazine format.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
That launches in 2024.
Ooh. That's gonna be cool.
Well, 2024 will be right around the corner. We already in
Yeah,
August.
right around there.
Right?
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
But speaking
But,
of it, it's funny you said that you wasn't like you hit or miss with Dark Horse because I've been buying a lot of the Dark Horse Conans recently. I just got a whole bunch of mostly Dark Horse for $1 at the recent con I went to.
Ooh, nice.
Most of it is a Kurt Busiek run, and I'm a big fan of Kurt Busiek. So
I have his autograph on a book, and I have like Road of Kings. I liked a lot. There was just some other like Queen of the Black Coast. I thought they butchered. But, did I show you what I? Did I show you this?
Ooh.
I seen that, man.
I got to show it off because it was a present from Matt Woods.
That damn, what was it, Man Thing's first appearance?
Yeah, that's what drove it up. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
And I don't
That's
even
the only
care
thing that
about
pisses
Man
me off
Thing
about that book.
here. It's just a Conan book.
Yeah,
But that's the only
I
thing that
wanted
pisses me off about it, though.
Man Thing is in it, and this is first appearance. It just makes the book harder to come by.
And I've read this. I've read the whole thing before. I have it. I have the omnibus because I wanted the reprint of the first issue. But the Man Thing story is good. It's not great though. It's not. And I'm a big fan of Man Thing, but the prices on that book are insane.
Yeah.
Like if it was just the Conan and Savage Tale stories, I would have had that book already. But because it's Man Thing,
Yeah.
it's unless somebody gifted to me,
It's a little out of reach.
Yeah,
I was the same.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I was completely blown away. And then
I always appreciated when Man Cave Comics sent me Conan #1 because that was a book that I was building towards getting, but then when he said, "Hey, I'll send it to you, man," it was very appreciative of.
And it's a big book. And if you're like you and me, and you're a lifelong Conan fan, that's one of the holy grails.
Yeah.
And there's the same thing with the same thing with me when I got you that Vampy 1, man. The same thing, I'm going. Sean needs a original Vampy 1 anyways. I'm like, I got one from Steve. It's my turn to pay it forward. So
about that Vampy 1, right? So I have 2 copies of the facsimile in the magazine format. Now I had never read it. My only experience with Vampirella before reading that was the Dynamite. And I've never been a Vampirella fan, but I read that issue 1 facsimile, and I love that from cover to cover. It was so good.
Yeah.
The short horror story. I wish they would do that again with the character. Just bring it back into
me,
that.
The Bronze Age style of horror storytelling is what makes it such a great run.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're not just reading it for Vampirella, but you're just reading it for the anthologies. And not only that, the other characters that she interacted with, like Panther and
every story in that issue was really good. I loved every one.
But most of those issues are like that though, Gary. Like most of the issues of that run is like that though. It's like Sean says, it's her interacting with everybody. It's not just, you know what I mean? It's not just what new age stuff is.
She's like the Tales of the Crypt Keeper. She's the host of her own book, but she has other tales in it.
And that's why I like what they're doing with Shudder and the Vampiress Carmilla. It's those old styles.
Yeah.
And you know what? Because I AOK VV issue #3 because he couldn't get that in Europe, so I had to get it from him. I saw this at Tim's, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up issue 11 and check it out.
Yeah.
Not only magazine format, but the covers are just.
I like it. The only issue I have is the paper quality to it.
I haven't had any problems. I've been loving them, man. I mean, I have all the Vampiress Carmilla ones. I have all the Shudders. I had missed out when it was Eerie.
Right.
Or whatever it was. I got
creepy at the time. Yeah, it was creepy something at the time, and they had to change it.
The creeps.
Yeah.
Creeps.
Yeah. It was too close to creepy, so they had to because James Warren, I think, sent the cease and desist letter out to him. I think that's what happened. But the biggest thing is the big deal you guys know the big thing in October is Sarah's gonna be writing Vampy, and it's been 54 years since Frazetta's been on a Vampy book.
I know. I might get that one just because she's on it, and I'm not even a Vampirella guy.
No, but honestly, I hope because I read in the previews. I actually read the article that they wrote on her, and the interview in there, and I can't wait to actually see it because she likes the old school stuff, so she'll make it feel like old school Vampy. So it's gonna be exciting to see.
Is she gonna do the art too?
No, she's writing with Bob Willingham, so they're co-writing it. So she's writing it, and then I think Bob is like checking her stuff, and then they're sending it off, and I think it's like that, like Bob Willingham and her are writing together.
It'll be a missed opportunity if they don't have her at least do a cover.
She has cover. She has a cover, and then Willingham is the inker.
And I'm buying multiple copies because I'm gonna get it signed by her when we see her.
Yeah, me too.
And we need to get Gary down for the museum visit.
Yeah.
I wish. I'd love to go.
Yeah, you just got to plan on it, man. It's every February to March, depending on how Mom feels. If it goes to March, but it's normally in February, and then MegaCon's February in the beginning of February. But I know I'm at least gonna make 3 trips out there. So
now,
like
where
always.
Does it take place? What state?
Florida.
Oh yeah, I'd have to see if I can even afford to fly down. That's a problem. Everything's so expensive now. It's hard to afford stuff. Like I go to the grocery store, I get 2 bags of groceries. I'm $60 in.
Yeah, or we need to create a yeah, we need to create a portal. We need to create a portal, man. Portal like for VB. Or if the next time we do it, we can just video you in like we videoed VB in the last time.
That'll work.
Yeah, we'll video you in.
All to be in one place at one time.
I just hope that won't be the first time that Gary talks to Sarah.
I know.
On his channel.
I have never spoken to Sarah. I'd love to. I'd love to have her on the show to talk stuff.
Yeah, but
she was just on their condition. I sent you the link, Jeff. She interviewed by
I saw that. I watched that. I watched the other interview she's done, and they actually brought up an issue on the one you sent me. They actually brought up something for just in case she watches. Issue 66 of Vampy, there actually is a story in there about Egyptian queen. So issue 60. Wow. Yeah, so if Sarah watches, this is the issue here. Is issue 66, and there actually is like a story that they told about how Egyptian queen was created, and so but it's like this is the story here. Ooh. So, yep, and then Egyptian queen's appearance is in this book. Egyptian the paintings. Look, the paintings actually in the book.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Bronze Age black and white art.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to find her a better copy because this is the ratty copy. I'm gonna try to find her a better copy, but so I'm gonna get a loved
copy.
Yeah, because that's a well-loved copy, but I'm going to try to find her a better copy because now I know that because what was it? It was 69 was the cover, Eerie cover that came out. That came out like 3 months after. So
now while I'm here and on the show, I'm gonna use your show to put Sean on the spot.
Okay.
What's that?
Now, all right, now Sean, I don't know if you know this or not. I have a show called the 1011.
Come on, Gary. You know I know this, man, and I was waiting. I was waiting for the ask.
I'm scheduling in September. I would love to have you come on. because they're all scheduled way out. So my next available dates are in September.
My birthday month.
Is it?
Ironic. Yeah, September 29th.
Because I haven't scheduled anyone yet. I wanted to lock you down to a week before I schedule.
Why don't you just schedule it for Sean's birthday?
My birthday's Friday, so if we could do a Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, are you? Well, usually we do it Tuesday nights. Are you available Tuesday nights?
I work nights.
Then we'll do a special show for you on Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
You let me know what Saturday, and I'll put it on my calendar. So you message me after. You look at your schedule. Let me know what's good for you. We'll get it on there.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to be on the 10-1-1 sooner or later.
I'll invite Jeff and Thorson to come on and co-host with me.
Why not?
That's why Saturday would be perfect. If it's like afternoon time, like you did with him, it'd be perfect.
Yeah,
all right, you
because
pick
that'd be
Saturday
great.
And we'll make it happen.
Yeah, it could be that after my birthday. The 29th is a Friday, so it could be that 30th.
Okay, I'll put it in. We'll do 8 p.m. at night. Good for you? 8 p.m. Eastern?
That's good.
Okay.
I'll just make sure that the comments.
Since Gary, you're on here anyways. It's just in case Sarah watches, you can ask Sarah for an interview here.
I know. Yes, Sarah, I would love to get you on my channel for an interview to talk about anything you would like to talk about regarding upcoming projects, anything Frazetta related. I don't care. Just a nice conversation. Let's positive. If you're on my channel, there's never any negativity on my channel. No. We don't attack people. We don't call people out. On my channel, we're there to build people up.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to get you on for a bit now, Sean.
I know. Like you had Steve, Jeff, and Hialeah on. I was like, sooner or later, I'm gonna get that message from Gary. You're like, Sean, you want to be on the 10-1-1? And like we find a balanced schedule. Saturday is perfect. And I'll start planning on what books I want to show. Because it's 10 books and then one
right 10 books that are favorites. Why they're favorites. An 11th book that has an extended personal story attached. Okay. And then one that's a spec pick from your collection.
All right.
The spec pick is there for the audience. I don't care about spec myself.
Yeah, I got a book that has a personal story to it. I told it before, but I want to tell it on your channel. So
right. Well, I'm sure that's the great thing, right? Is I get you in front of a new audience. Hopefully, some people that have never seen you before that can sub to your channel.
Yeah. Well, honestly, thanks to Gary. What was it? Thanks to Gary. Thanks to freaking Naman and everybody else, because I'm almost at 400. I'm at like 383 now. So yeah.
Nice. We got to get you over that mark.
Yeah.
And I say this with VV when we do our Friday movie talks, I'm at like 560 something, and we don't get like a whole lot of views, but sometimes I don't care about the views. I just enjoy talking to you guys, man.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing with us is that I enjoy talking to you guys about anything really.
Yeah, like the views.
You're hanging out with a friend.
Yeah. That's all that matters to me. I'm not chasing clout when it comes to trying to have these high subscriber amounts. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I get 1,000 subscribers. I'm still gonna be me.
I'll tell you something about that though, Sean. 10,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers doesn't mean you have a lot of interaction. You could have 500 subscribers and have, because I was checking this out recently, because I'm almost to 2,000. I'm at 1,880 right now. But the thing I noticed, and this isn't with everyone, I can go to some of those big channels that have 10 and 20, and their lives are filled. I can go to other ones, and it's a ghost town. They have 2 or 3 people in there, which tells me that those are empty subs. Where you can come on any one of my shows, and I at least have 15 to 20 of the same crowd in there every night, plus 1 or 2 new ones sometimes. Right. And it's a place where your crowd meets, and you and Thorson have that. You have that too, Jeff. You see the same people in your chat. They're invested in you and your channel. That means a lot more than any sub count, that the people that are actually viewing your content connect to you, the creator.
Right.
And a lot of these that's why I don't do contests on my shows. I don't want people that are just there to win prizes. I don't want them to disrupt the community that is in my chat. that's a sacred place for my chat. All those people get along. They all talk to each other. They're all there
Right.
for each other. They have a great time. Sometimes independent of what's going on in the show. And I would never spoil that experience for them
Right.
by running giveaways and having 20 people show up that just want to win something that you'll never ever see again in your life on your channel. That means nothing to your channel. It's better to have 500 subscribers and people that are engaged with you
Right.
and your content than to have 20,000 and no one's tuning in for you.
Right.
That's just my
I
soapbox.
believe in that
Sorry.
too. No,
I think
I
that's
believe
my
in that too.
soapbox of the episode.
Yeah, I definitely hear that because I remember when I did my last giveaway on my YouTube, man, a whole lot of new people showed up just for the giveaway. And
Right.
and then when I did the live explaining the giveaway winner, they ain't watched the live until after the video had ended.
Right, because all they did was check the comments and see who said the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like y'all only showed up just for the prize.
And then they unsub you.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest part, man. It's like, dude, it doesn't hurt to stay sub, but they don't because they don't want it to pop up on their sub. But
yeah, staying sub isn't going to do anything. No, it's better. Look, the people that tune into you and Vivi every week, and I try to when I'm home in time.
Right.
But they're there for you guys. That's what really counts.
Yeah, we talked the Corruptor this past Friday. So,
right. I love the Corruptor. You're talking about the Chow Yun Fat movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that this past Friday. You know, so we did that, and we had a great time talking that movie.
I miss Chow Yun Fat. Man, when he was doing stuff, I was all about it.
Yeah. Especially his China work, like John Woo stuff, man, awesome. You know, but we had a great time talking that. I uploaded the Tampa Bay Comic-Con video, you know, did a walkthrough of that.
Saw that.
This Friday, me and VV were honoring Isaac Hayes because he passed away on the 10th, and he was born on the 20th. So we're gonna do 3 tough guys with Fred Williamson and
that's cool.
Turner.
So,
nice. So double feature of it.
All right.
I'm also a part of the Comic Call crew who was on the show last week with Alan and them. So that's another channel I usually be a part of.
I mean, if you guys are down to do it every month, every issue every month that comes out, I mean, I'm down. So we'll do it here.
Yeah, my only issue is that it might have to be later than 1 o'clock because I got lucky to get here for 1 o'clock because I ended up getting out of work an hour early. Usually I wouldn't be able to make it home till like 2:30.
That's fine. Well, we'll just we'll do 3, if anything.
But
3.
no, don't you guys for a second feel bad about your channels. You guys are building your base with people that are investing in you, and that's not a bad way to go at all. That's the best way.
Right.
Yeah,
because I've been like everybody's gonna want me to do this Vampy video, but man, it's gonna take me a little bit with the equipment wise and stuff like that. Man, it's gonna take a little bit to do.
Don't beat your head over it. It's gonna happen. You know, you're gonna get it done, and you're gonna finally upload it. And
now, Sean, too, you got to know that after you're on my show, that's when I start approaching you to co-host and stuff too on certain occasions. I just told Jeff I was going to ask him to co-host when you're on. So, after anyone that appears on my show, especially you guys who I consider friends, right? Like, I'll send you guys messages sometimes. Hey, you want to co-host?
As long as it's not on the work night, because like I said,
me too.
I go to work around 8:30, so
it's
from Sunday night to Thursday night is off limits. Friday nights and Saturday nights, I'm good.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Mine's Saturday and Sunday more than anything. Friday's a little off limits. So, but so honestly, I'm down to do this every month. So, what are we rating Fire and Ice? We're a couple of us are rating it all 10s.
Yeah.
All around.
Fire Ice for me is 9. Conan is a 10.
Right.
I'll agree with Sean, but they were both great first outings.
Yeah.
Right.
This is how you want to start something.
Yeah. Supposed to start. This is how you're supposed to start it. Not
starting like this is how you build an audience.
Yeah. Fire and Ice is a hard. Yeah, it's a 9 for me. So yeah, and then Conan was both of them were 9s.
What's up, Eddie?
Eddie?
What's going on, Eddie? Yeah, so both of them are 9s. So I mean, and then if you guys want to order books, I actually linked Frazetta Girls down there, so you guys can actually order straight from Frazetta Girls, and probably get a couple of signed issues from Sarah. So it's down in the description below.
I want mine personally signed.
Yeah, me too. But I want my Vampies personally.
Listen to you highballers over there making fun of us lowballers that don't know people. They're both over. They're like, it's good to be the king.
Yeah, but it's being yeah. But honestly, it was a great read, and I hope I can't wait to read issue 2 of Fire and Ice. I can't wait to read issue 2 of Conan. Yeah, and then I'm excited for October, man. I'm excited to see what that Vampy is going to be about. So
I posted. Jim Zub replied to me on Threads, and he said, if I liked issue 1, issue 2 is way better in his opinion.
Oh boy.
He says he wasn't bragging. He just said issue 2 is way better.
Can't wait to read it. Can't wait to read it, man. I can't wait to read both.
Man. So it got me really excited for 2 because I loved 1.
My thing is, Darkwood's first appearance in comics is Fire and Ice, right? It's this issue, right?
It's got to be.
You would think.
It's got to be all their first appearances. They've never been in comics before, right?
Not that I know.
Okay. I would have to ask Sarah this one, but I think I think this would be their first appearance. Yeah, because
the movie was standalone.
Right, and then I ordered one of the action figures, so we may be doing an unboxing in November because they don't ship until November, so we might be doing an unboxing in November sometime.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
October, November, we looking forward to when G-Man comes down.
When G's gonna be down here, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Jeff's hoping for that Tigro figure with the big booty on it.
Yeah, but so what you guys got going on your guys' channels? What you got going on, Sean?
Again, Friday, me and Vivi, we're doing our usual Talking Movies live stream, talking Three Tough Guys and Chuck Turner, tribute to Isaac Hayes. On my channel now, Tampa Bay Comic Convention video from last Saturday. That's on the channel along with my previous videos, but make sure you check that out. Subscribe to me, subscribe to Jeff, to Gary B, and the Comic Call crew, which is I'm also a part of. We're supposed to be doing our 7th anniversary stream, but it's probably going to be a little bit later in the month because Matt is busy doing work. So when we
making his money for Heroes Con.
Yeah. So when that gets situated, we'll have it posted that we're going to do it this day, and it's usually a Saturday nights at 9:00. So that's it. All
right, what you got going on, Gary?
Oh well, it's been a busy week for me. But next week we have Brian on the 1011 on Tuesday. On Thursday we have Steve White on In the Hot Seat with the Usual Suspects. And Jeff, you're going to want to set your clock for Saturday morning because Stephanie is cosplaying as Vampirella that morning.
Ooh.
So we got Stephanie as Vampirella on Saturday. And then at the end of August and the beginning of September, on August 31st, we have the reveal of the collaborative project that Stephanie and I have been working on, which involves her cosplaying a new character on a comic book that she helped create this character. So you're going to see her as that character. Her name is Lucy. You're going to want to see it. And then she's going to be revealed on my show on the 31st with the creators of the comic. And then on that following Saturday, 2 days later, she's going to be Lucy again for Coffee and Cosplay. So you're going to want to see this new character. You will not be disappointed.
Can't wait for that. And then all I got going on is this Fire and Ice review probably next month. And maybe a Silver Age Sundays every once in a while. And a couple other videos I'm working on. There's going to be probably a Vampy video about the Frazetta stuff I'm working on. But it's going to take me a little bit just to get stuff together, but working on it. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, And then we'll see you guys next month for Fire and Ice reviews, and we'll check you guys later.
I just want to say before you go off, man.
Yeah.
You know, he had to run off, but it was cool being on with Howard. And,
yeah, with Howard or Video 99. And if you guys want to follow him on Instagram, if you want to go follow him on Instagram and stuff like that, everybody's information is down below. If you want to order a Dark Wolf figure, all of the like I said, everything's down below. So if you guys want, whoever watches on the Rewind wants to order books, all of all their information is down below. So
awesome.
And then we'll see you guys next month when we review Fire and Ice 2.
All right, thanks for having me, gents.
You're welcome.